Hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, we're going to be making a spoon rest for your kitchen. Well, it's another Alternative Tuesdays and we're playing with some more ABS plastic from Omicron Plastics. And this week I'm choosing the color blue, and what we're going to be making, as I said in the intro, is a spoon rest. Now, I was kind of searching around the internet looking for ideas for projects and that sort of thing, and I saw an image of a spoon rest that I thought was rather unique, and I decided that I would make my own version of that. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to have to cut some ABS plastic, and we're going to want a piece that's about 2 inches wide, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 inches long, and 1/8 of an inch thick. I have a 2-inch wide piece of ABS, and what I want to do is I want to mark out a strip in the center that is 3/4 of an inch wide. I'm a little concerned about my color choice here, as I'm afraid that the lines may not show up very well. But what I've done is I've just drawn a center line here, and then out from that center line we're going to come 3/8 of an inch out for in order to get a centered mark at 3/4 of an inch. And hopefully this is showing on the camera that we have one line here and one line here, and the line between them here, or the space between them, should equal 3/4 of an inch. We're going to mark this same dimension up a little higher, and then we're going to join those lines together, and that will sort of represent the handle of our spoon holder. And at the one end of our design, we're going to use a circle template and round it off with a 3/4 inch diameter circle. Well, now we're going to come up 5 inches from the bottom where we just marked our 3/4 circle. We're going to come up, as I said, 5 inches, and we're going to square a line off across our project at that mark. And now we're going to draw a line all the way along the edges here at 1/2 an inch in from each edge. Once we get that done, we're going to measure up 1 inch from our 5-inch mark, and we're going to place a 1-inch radius circle, or sorry, 1-inch diameter circle at that mark right on our center line. So we're going to come up 1 inch, and then using that template, we'll mark that circle. Well, basically the next thing to do is to use a 1/2 inch circle and round off each one of these side areas here that you made the straight lines on. How confusing is this project so far? I'm confused and I'm the one doing it. So just work along with me here, guys. And like I said, the 1/2 inch circle right on that line. And now that we have that drawn out, we're just going to contour in this edge here and this edge just to make it a little more pleasing and round off any kind of sharp corners. And now that we have this marked out, I'm just going to take it over to the scroll saw and very carefully cut it out. Well, at the moment, you should have something that looks a little like this. And we're just going to clean it up, take a little light sanding around the edges. So you now want to decide whether or not you want to put it through the acetone chamber to give it a better finish. And I would suggest doing that just to make cleaning it easier. For the project itself and the demonstration, I will not be putting it through that chamber, just to simplify things a little further. So that's all great and dandy. We've made a little 1/8 thick slingshot kind of a thing. But what do we have left to put on it? And for that, I just hit the local dollar store. Well, what I've done is I've picked up these little 1-inch suction cups from the local dollar store, and they come with this little metal hook, which we're going to remove. But I got 8 of them for $1.25, and we need 2 of them to be able to use on this spoon rest. To mount the suction cups, I'm going to drill a 1/4 inch hole on our center line, 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom, and then again 3 inches past that. So a 1/4 inch through hole at both of those locations. Now it really takes some finagling, but if you work at it, and I'm using a small diameter dowel here to assist me to squish the head of this thing into that 1/4 inch hole, but if you work at it for a while, you should be able to get the head of that suction cup pushed through so that it will become part of the handle of our spoon holder. And there we have one suction cup installed. It's just friction fit. There is no glue here, there is no adhesive, it is just friction fit. And depending on the suction cups that you're able to get from your local supplier or store, you may have to adjust and experiment with the size of hole that you use. So I'm going to install this second suction cup, and when I get that done, I'll come back and see you. Well, aside from dunking it in the acetone chamber, so to speak, there's really not much left to do with this project other than to show you how to use it. It's the most simple thing I've ever seen, and opposed to the ones that just sit on your counter, this one suction cups to the side of your sink. And by doing that, it enables or gives you a place to sit whatever utensil you're using so that if it is going to drip, it drips right into the sink instead of into a dish that you're going to have to clean later. The sink you can just rinse out. I think it's pretty brilliant, really, and pretty darn simple and easy to make. And there you have it. An ABS suction cup utensil rest or spoon rest, whatever you want to call it, for your kitchen. Guys, this thing uses up next to no material, and with a little bit of an accessory of some dollar store suction cups, you really have one heck of a great gift to give to somebody for very little effort and very little time. I know the concept seems extremely simple, but sometimes simple is extremely effective. So don't discount this as a project, because honestly, I had a lot of fun with this one. Guys, I hope you're going to try this for yourself. This is a really cool little item. And by throwing it into the acetone chamber, it really brings it out. It makes that navy blue ABS really kind of deepen and darken, and as well, it gives it one heck of a nice finish. Now that finish is what I wanted to point out next. I would strongly suggest using the the acetone chamber in order to improve the finish of the ABS for this project, mostly because of the cleaning it aspect. Whereas if you wanted to, you could just give this a nice wipe. It's nice and shiny. You don't have to worry about any grooves or any kind of liquids getting down into those grooves. So seriously, give it either a good sanding or a good visit to the acetone chamber. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me once again this week. I do have a lot of fun on this show, and this show is nothing without you and your contributions as well. So keep dropping those comments, keep liking and subscribing, and if you're interested in this ABS plastic, just click the link that's down in the description below for Omicron Plastics, and they would be more than happy to help you out to get some of this material for your shop as well. Guys, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you're going to join me next week when I bring you yet another Alternative Tuesdays.